Hey everybody, this is Karen. If you had joined us live for this event, you may have noticed that we had some serious technical difficulties. Our intention was to do a Google Hangout for this. That didn't happen. It just kept doing all this crazy, wacky stuff. So it ended up just being audio. So I'm going to play the audio for you now so you guys can hear Sue B. Zimmerman and I talking about our B School experiences. We answer some questions for some of the people that we've been talking to about going to B School, and we hope these help you. If you have any questions at all, you can reach out to either one of us. Our information is on this page. You can always email me at Karen@KarenYankovich.com or Sue@SueBZimmerman.com. And you can get all the details about our social media bonus and B School at www.bschoolsocialmediabonus.com. And here we go. Here's the information about our Q&A talk. Thanks for being patient.
Okay. So, So we are back. I just want to make sure that we are not muted. Hold all guests. No.
Can you hear me all right?
Okay. I can hear you. Can you guys, if you're on the webcast, can you type in if you can hear us okay? Just go to the Q&A. Let me just approve all questions. If you guys can, if somebody can just type in that you can hear us, that would be really great.
All right, let me just.
I think we still have people joining in on the webcast.
Yeah, let me just check them.
So we're going to just chat for a second and
wait for people to get on
until we get until everybody gets on. Thank you so much for all of your patience. You know what? I'm going to unmute everybody for now, and then we'll mute it when we're ready to talk. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay, so everybody's unmuted. Well, we don't have anybody else on the call. Everybody's on the webcast, so people on the webcast can't talk anyway. But if you call into that number, you can chat with us for a minute until we get everybody back on board with us. And again, if you're on the webcast, if you can just type something in that says that you can hear us. And I hope you can, because I can hear. Yeah, okay, Nicole, thank you for telling us you can hear us, and thank you for your patience.
Yay!
Okay. So, Sue, let's just get started. You know, hopefully, if anybody jumps in.
Well, so is Nicole. Nicole, are you on your computer or are you on the phone?
Nicole's on the computer.
Oh, so most people on the computer, so you can read their. I can read
their questions and answers. Yeah.
Okay. Well, is it just Nicole? Because Nicole.
I have a Nicole. Well, Nicole and Beth both typed in. I don't know. We have a bunch of people now joining on the webcast, and right now we don't have anybody else but you and I on the phone. So
okay, so it's you and me on the phone, and it's Nicole and Beth on the webcast. So
there's other people on the webcast too. I just don't know who they are. That's just the only people that have answered.
Okay, so why not? Okay, so I think, Karen, what would be great is if you just, again, ask for them just to type that they're on so we know who it is and who we're talking to.
Yeah, I don't know that everybody's necessarily going to do that, but if you want to introduce yourself, that would be great. But I'm going to start because this is going to be recorded, so there'll be people that are listening to this that didn't hear the debacle that we had to get to this. So for all of you that are listening to the recording of this, we had a little technical difficulties with Google Hangouts. So we've had some really patient people that have stuck with us, and we're now doing this B School and social media question and answer session via just audio. So again, thank you all that are with us for joining us and for hanging in here with us. I'm Karen Yankovich. I'm going to introduce myself again so that people listening to the recording know who I am. I'm a social media brand strategist. I help entrepreneurs and small businesses shine and share their business online. I help them to create wealth with simple systems using social media, free social media tools to maintain strong customer relationships. I have more than 30 years in sales and marketing. I've owned businesses. I've run sales teams. I've worked with everything from single business owners to, Fortune 500 companies. And now I'm helping all of you. So two of my favorite topics, B-School and social media, is what we're here to talk about today. And I'm going to introduce Sue B. Zimmerman to you. So why don't you introduce yourself before we go any further?
Well, Karen, I so appreciate that you have 30 years experience. And
you know how old I am.
Because you know what that means? You know how to problem solve when you come to technical issues like this, and just stay calm and stay cool. And you know, this is a lesson to all of us. Like Brene Brown says, you gotta live, you gotta be vulnerable, feel your pulse go, and make it all happen. So, to Karen's sentiment, I too so appreciate the time that you guys waited, the time that you're giving us. We are heartfelt entrepreneurs. I too, like Karen, teach business owners and entrepreneurs how to promote themselves online via social media, via branding, and obviously, specifically, Instagram, and so that they can make more money. And Karen and I are here today to really tell you about our love of BSchool and our relationship and the value that BSchool has given us, both personally and professionally. Karen's going to start the call with going over BSchool, and I'm going to talk about the value of the community and the network and how Karen and I met and all the great things that have happened for both of us because of BSchool. So how does that sound, Karen?
That sounds great, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on this because you can read all of that, and you guys don't need to hear us talk about it for half an hour because Marie does such a great job of telling you about it on her website. But Sue, when we get to, I'll kind of go through the different things, and maybe, you can jump in and we'll talk for 2 seconds about each different module and what it kind of meant to us and, how valuable it was. And I want to just preface this by saying that, I took BSchool 2 years ago, and when I took BSchool initially, I was like, this is cool. I'm going to learn how to market my business. And because while I've been doing sales and marketing forever, I wasn't really selling online as much. Right? I had a website and things like that, but most of my business was business to business. I worked off referrals. I wasn't really marketing myself with social media. So I was excited to learn how to do that. But when I took BSchool, my whole business shifted. I mean, I learned things that I didn't even know existed. So what I thought I was taking BSchool for was really not even what I ended up getting benefits from BSchool. I got benefits so far beyond what I anticipated getting. So,
right.
So when you take BSchool, when it first starts, right, it's set up in modules, and each Monday another module gets released. And they're done in a strategic fashion, and you also have access to the community, and each module is a combination of audios and videos and fun sheets, and you have work. And, what I thought I was taking this, listen, BSchool is $1,999, so that's a lot of money, but it's not $20,000, right? I really had no idea I was going to get this intense amount of work, right? Like this 2,000, that's one college class. Let me tell you something. B-School's like through 2 years of college, So you get to that first module, right? And you think you're going to just sail through it and, this is going to be great. And you're like, oh my gosh, like it completely shifts your head around. You get so much content and so much to think about, so much more than I ever anticipated. And the reason I'm telling you this, yeah.
No, I was just going to jump in and add that.
Go ahead.
Before you keep going. So what I want to add to that, just to keep on topic with what Karen's saying, and to mirror that with my experience is, I have been an entrepreneur my whole life. Many of you that are on the call know this, that I've had. Now this is my 18th business, and I thought I was definitely successful in my space, but I was playing small in that I wasn't sharing my talents with the world. And BSchool, to Karen's point, really gives you the foundation of sharing what you are most passionate about online to the world. And it's a completely different business experience than anything I had ever imagined. And I didn't even know that this online space existed. And so for me, having the support within the community to help grow and launch my business was so incredibly valuable. But I love that Karen, you're kind of breaking through your initial experience of that first module. Are you going to keep going through all four of them? But I just want to jump in.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
no, no, I will.
pick them up.
But the reason before I get to that, the reason I wanted to tell you that is because there's so much information in this that I want to be sure that you understand that you have to take it for what works for you, right? When you first start taking BSchool and you start to meet all the people and you start to hear all the successes, it can be a little bit overwhelming, but it's so worth every single minute that you spend on it. So the first module is I think the hardest module, frankly, because I think it's probably the most work, and it takes you through. I'm going to just kind of go through that. The first module is, let me just make sure I'll call it what she's calling it. So she calls it Profit Plan. And it's a solid foundation for your long-term success. So, she takes you through profit clarity, how to have clarity on your market, your business model, and where you should be focusing your time and your energy. And she takes you through this exercise to kind of really target your ideal customers. And that is, it all sounds like stuff you already know. I promise you're going to be looking at this with completely new eyes. I mean, people go through I've done the avatar exercise like 10 times now with different businesses that I've done since then, and it just doesn't stop giving. It's just so valuable. So that first module, it's really intense, but what I'm going to say to you is when you join BSchool, I'm going to encourage you to move on to the second module when the course moves on, even if you're not ready to. Because I want you to try to stay with the pack because there's value in that. You can always go back and dig in deep to all this other stuff later because you will be digging in deep later. So Marie offers question and answer calls. You totally want to be involved in them if you can. That's your chance to talk to her directly. So if you stay behind on the first module and not move on to the second module with the rest of the course, you're going to miss out on that opportunity. So move on, like take what you can on the first week and then move on, and you can always go back and redo and dig in. Okay, so the second week she gets into websites, and, in typical Marie fashion, she calls it create websites that sell and don't suck.
Right.
And, what she's basically saying is before you spend money on a pretty website, you need to know what you need to have and what you don't need to have so that your site sells and you're providing an awesome user experience, right? And it really isn't just about having a pretty website. You want a functional website. And she takes you through where you should put different aspects of your website and why. What types of websites you should use, what the benefits are to using WordPress and different themes. And there's, typically bonuses. I think Natalie Lucier did a bonus last year on taking you through using Thesis. So there's crazy bonuses and again, a crazy amount of information on that module. And then the third module is communication and how to develop a strategic plan to consistently connect with your market. So you have your website, and now, how do you add value to your audience with communication? So now she's building off of the different things. You've identified your market, you've identified your customer, you've identified where the profit are, and then you move on to your website and then how to connect with people through your website. And then module 4 is list building, and this is a big module because your list is important, right? So in list building, we learn how to strategically and intelligently grow your audience, how to get traffic to your website, and how to grow your list, and how to be smart, strategic, and generous with what you know and what you have so that you can bring more people to your list and build your tribe. The fifth module, and I'm just whipping through this because you're going to go through this. You'll see all this on the website.
Karen, you're doing a great job.
So the fifth module is creating outstanding products and services that practically sell themselves. So that's called offerings. So that's what exactly are you offering and how are you offering it? The best product or service in the world is useless if no one knows about it. So in business, it's not about what you know or what you sell. It's about how you position and package it, and that is so true. Mm-hmm. And then module 6, marketing. Leverage timeless, proven principles to skyrocket your sales. Marketing is the lifeblood of your business. It isn't scary or difficult. It's simple, effective, clear communication and a general understanding of human psychology and behavior. And again, there's tons and tons of information, but it's broken down. The videos that you watch on it are typically not more than 20 minutes long. There's a couple of videos in each module so that you don't have to sit there for an hour and dig. You watch a video, you can kind of process it, get a fun sheet out, do some work on it, move on to the next video, right?
Right, and I like that she has a lot of worksheets so that you can really follow along and write things down and take notes. And Karen, your point about staying on track with moving with the pack, I think is really a good one, because I did that, and I did go back and rewatched a lot of modules when I got more and more clarity from each module. So I think that's a good thing to say. And basically, I mean, in a nutshell, BSchool is basically an end-to-end system for building an online business from scratch. I mean, she really takes you through this course with these modules, and when you graduate, you have the ability to launch your product to the world. And that's, I mean, it's a beautiful formula that she's created that really works when you stay on track and complete each module.
Yeah. And you know, there's different schools of thought on that. There are people that say you don't have to worry about, don't stress, don't keep up, take your time on each module. And I understand that, but I don't agree with that. I think that you go back and do that, but I think you know, there's so much value in staying, you know, and kind of giving it a peripheral overview as you go through it, and digging in where you can, staying with the pack, because it gives you the ability to, you know, to kind of ask questions in the group, and you're all on the same wavelength. So, you know, there are people that definitely will say, you know what, stay on module one as long as you want. Again, it's a matter of preference. My recommendation to my clients, though, is that they continue on with it.
Right.
And then go back. And then go back. And then when you're done, you get all kinds of more bonuses. There's, I think there's a bonus on how to get killer testimonials. There's a bonus on how Marie went from 6 to 7 figures with her business. There's also going to be a new bonus this year, which I don't know really anything about, so it is new, but it's going to be about marketing for product-based businesses. So if you have a product-based business, there's going to be specific information for you on that. And, you know, there's all kinds of additional trainings. There's all kinds of behind-the-scenes videos, information about metrics and analytics and opt-ins and, you know, social media. There's so much information.
Karen, I love that every year she just improves it and works it and takes the feedback from her graduates to see what they wish there was, and just improves it every year. Because like you said, you bought BSchool 2 years ago, and I just had it for a year. And every year it just builds, and the community builds.
Yeah. And, you know, I go back to this stuff all the time. I go back to the swipe files that you've gotten. There's swipe files for things like graphics, and there's swipe files for things about headlines, and, you know, I go back to that stuff all the time. I've downloaded all the information, and I go back to it on a regular basis. It's not something you do once and you're done with.
Exactly. So now I think you summed that up really nicely. How about I chat a little bit about our relationship, how we met, and all the great things that we've done since.
Perfect.
Sound good? All right, so I want everyone on the call to understand that in addition to this fabulous course, you get to be a part of the fabulous community, which is just amazing. There's now over 6,000 people in Marie's community, and it's just growing, as you can imagine. And not only does she have her BSchool fan page, but within BSchool, there's all different niches for different industries. There's one if you do podcasting, if you have a retail store, if you are a writer or a blogger. It just niches down. Everyone's real, and it even niches down to location. Karen, I joined BSchool in Boston. Do you have one in New Jersey?
Yep.
Yeah, so there's one within different communities. So what's really great about that is that, you know, you can really get a more hyper-focused group of people with similar interests and talk amongst each other and get value in a more intimate way. And that's been really great for me to do some market research before I've launched some of my courses. And Karen and I, given that we are both in the social media space, are very active on commenting and giving value and really engaging within the group. And I saw her face pop up a lot, and I saw her commenting on a lot of the same threads that I was commenting on, and there is literally no competition in BSchool. Everyone is a cheerleader for each other's success. Everyone believes that there is enough business in this world for all of us to be doing what we love and making money doing it. So Karen and
that's so true. That is so true. That's one of my favorite things about this community.
Yeah. So Karen and I just reached out to her. I think I started privately Facebook chatting with her because I'm like, clearly I want to get to know you. You seem like such a social media rock star, and I like to connect with other people that are in my space. So Karen and I ended up connecting, and we did a Google Hangout together. She invited me to a virtual summit she had done. I invited her to one of my Captain of the Hour webinars, and then we connected at a Spark and Hustle event in New York, and then we met at a Michael Port live event in New Jersey. We actually finally saw each other face to face, and we just hit it off right away. And the really cool thing is I'm always thinking of Karen specifically when there's an opportunity for someone to step in and teach LinkedIn, because that's Karen's, special sauce is her LinkedIn Stars program. And I was asked to speak at Massachusetts Women's Conference I forget, was it December? Yeah, it was in December. And I said, are there any other speaking opportunities available? And they said, yes, we're looking for someone who is a LinkedIn pro. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have someone for you. So I immediately thought of Karen. I sent her an email, asked her if she'd be interested, and she's like, hello, of course. And so Karen came to Boston, and she got to speak at Massachusetts Women, where there are 8,000 women in the room, and we did these mastermind roundtables. She did LinkedIn, I did Instagram, and it was great. And since then, Karen and I are constantly collaborating and thinking of ways to help each other. And if any of my clients need LinkedIn or Twitter or a social media strategy, and I don't feel like I can take them on, I send them to Karen, and she sends them to me when she sees that they need Instagram or some graphic or branding help. So it's just been such a mutually collaborative relationship, and I am so grateful that Karen had asked me to become part of her bonus for her affiliate link, which I'll let you talk a little bit more about. But I just wanted the listeners to understand that there are some serious friendships being formed that just are priceless. And it's not just business-wise, it's advice, emotional advice that you might have when you're down and out and you're just frustrated and you need somebody to pick you up. You can go there and vent. People are there helping you, cheering you on. It's just the most amazing community that I have ever been a part of in my life. And I mean that.
And it really is. And you know what? It's worldwide. I mean, Sue talked about the groups that are in there. I have made, friends in all different industries that I can call on any time I need them. I mean, if I'm working on my website at 2 o'clock in the morning and I need somebody to help me figure out why I can't change the font size on something, you have 6,000 people in this BSchool community that somebody's online at all times. Somebody's on that Facebook group at all times. And then the smaller groups, I mean, I was actually kind of joking today. I was whining about something in a small group that I'm in, kind of like a little mini mastermind that I've got. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna go around. I'm gonna live with you for a month in Omaha. I'm gonna live with you for a month in Scotland. And I was joking, but the reality is, I really could do that. I mean, there's probably not a country in the world that I don't know somebody in now. Like, how crazy is that? Right? Somebody that I could pick up the phone and say, I'm going to be in Paris next week. Let's do something. Show me around. I mean, you just get to meet these amazing, amazing people from all over the world who bring their perspectives to you and your business. And let me tell you something. Everybody's really supportive, and like Sue mentioned, there's not a lot of competition, but they're also going to call you on your shit. Right? Nobody's going to just say, oh, it's all good. They're going to be like, yeah, no, I don't really like that. I think you should use red instead of blue. So it's like having 6,000 people on your team instead of just you.
Exactly.
So it's really amazing.
And being a solo entrepreneur, and by the way, when I started BSchool, Karen, I don't know how many people you have on your team, but when I started BSchool, it was me and the community. And very few of my friends in the area where I live even understand this online space. So it's hard to have like a passionate conversation about being an online expert with people that just don't get it. And when you can turn and go online and really passionately talk about your purpose and what you love doing, it makes it so much fun. But it can get really lonely working as a solo entrepreneur, and it hasn't been until recently that I have a team now. And BSchool can be that team like Karen's talking about. So don't have to go through this alone. You don't have to struggle and wish that you had a resource to go to that's going to give you an honest answer. And there's been so many times that I have asked questions about changes that I've made with my website or just the wording of things that I'm doing, and you definitely get the feedback. So
so it's interesting that you brought that up, because I actually there's a B-schooler by the name of Dave Conroy, and I actually asked him if I could share this in this call today. He posted on the B-school group the other day, and I think this sums up exactly what you were just saying, and it's funny that we're on the same wavelength as this. So I'm going to read you his post because I think it really
I know
sums this up.
exactly the one you're talking about.
So I printed it and asked him if it's okay.
Yeah.
It says, I'm sure some of you, if not many of you, have run across this situation. Something great happens to you in your business. You share it with everyone, and the people that support you are the people you've met once you decided to change your life. But very few people from your former life will even like the post, let alone say something encouraging. I'm bringing this up because I think this group is pretty freaking awesome. We're about to be overrun. Well, here you guys. We're about to be overrun by a bunch of new blood, ready, eager, scared out of their minds, and they have no idea that the folks in this room right now are some of the most amazing and supportive individuals that will ever come across. Today I was fortunate enough to have Marie share my quote from my Live Your Dream video on her Facebook page, which was pretty cool. She tagged me in the post, and then I turned around and shared it myself on my own profile. Between her post and my own, there were dozens of well wishes of support from this group and others that I've met along the way. The amount of real-life friends from prior to B-school that gave me likes, 3. The amount of real-life friends that said anything encouraging, 0. So yeah, I know where the bread is buttered. You folks rock, and if you the real-lifers can't hang, so be it. I'd rather hang out with you anyway. Thanks for being awesome.
I know.
So, I'm not saying that you're going to lose the people in your life, but we've all experienced it where we're all excited about something, and you tell somebody like your spouse or your friend, and they don't know what you're talking about. They don't get it.
Right.
You go on this community and you say, "Oh my gosh, you're never going to believe what just happened," and they get it, and that's huge. That's huge.
It is. And what's so great about Dave is he's one of the token men in the group, and all the women just love him. I mean, he's just so adorable, right, Karen?
Yeah, he is.
But
I think there's more men this time around. So.
Oh, I know, because they're marketing it to men. In fact, I have someone that wants to join. I have 2 guys that want to join. But anyway, are you getting? I think at this point, Karen, we should take questions if there are any, because I'd really like to answer some.
Okay, so we still don't have anybody on. Everybody's still on the webcast. We have a bunch of people on the webcast. So what I'm going to say is just type in questions into the webcast. And, people are showing up that you're here. Hello. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can type them into the webcast. I actually had a few questions that were emailed to me earlier today, so let me grab them. Yeah, while we're waiting for people to type. So I had a question today that said, basically, just simply, how is this going to help me grow my biz? Well, I mean, I could talk about that for 2 years, but how is it going to help
you talk about that?
You know how it's going to help you grow your biz? You're going to be challenged to up your game.
Right.
If you're sitting there doing it by yourself and you don't have a bar to measure yourself against, and I'm not saying compare yourself. I'm not saying that at all. But when you see other people doing exactly what you're doing and doing it and rocking it and kicking butt and doing things so successfully, it makes you want to up your game. Right? Do you agree with that, Sue?
Oh, totally. There's so much awesomeness coming out of that group that you want to be one of those people that are awesome and set an example of success. I definitely felt that here. I definitely felt that.
Okay, so the next question I have is, what part do you think makes this totally worth it? So what do you think? So what would you say to that?
Well, Karen, to be honest, for me, I joined because I was just I had a girl crush on Marie, like I think everybody does, because she's just so buttoned up with, seriously, she's so buttoned up in every aspect of her online presentation, and I just wanted to see the back end of what she was doing from a branding standpoint, and I was pleasantly surprised to learn a lot more than I thought I was going to, because, again, being an entrepreneur my whole life, I pretty much thought I had known all the different aspects of what I need to do to run a successful business, but that still wasn't true. For me, the added value clearly came in with the Facebook group, and just the ability to have things answered instantly, to move forward, to not obsess with being perfect, but making progress, because that's my big thing, is just moving forward. And I'm really fortunate, Karen, because as you know, like in 8 months, I've been rocking it as the Instagram gal and have really created a great business quickly. And I never could have done it without the support and the foundation of what went on in BSchool.
Yeah, I agree. And I would have to agree with you that the community is really the one thing that stands out for me. I mean, all of the content is amazing, but all of the content, and Nicole, I'm going to take this to your question, because Nicole just asked a question that says, there are so many courses being offered, and I know that BSchool is a good program, but I'm afraid if I take yet another course that I will lose focus on what I should be doing in my business. So
that's a great question.
It is a great question, and it ties in with that. The content is awesome, and the content is, I'm going to say, better than most of the content out there. But you're right, there's a lot of good content out there.
Right.
The difference is the community. And it's the community. You have people that will keep you accountable if you want them. If you want them. If you want to hide, and you can. But if you want to take the bull by the horns and grab the reins and ride off and take your business skyrocketed, you will. Because there's so many people that want to help you do that. And that's the difference between BSchool and a lot of the other programs. There's so much accountability, and those local groups who talked about, like, I would encourage you to meet people face-to-face if you can. First of all, there's almost no place that I go now where there's not BSchoolers there, right? I live right outside of New York City, so there's a lot of New York City events, and if I'm going to something, I can just pop on the BSchool page, there's a New York City page, like, who's going to be here, and 5 people are going to be like, oh, I'll be there, I want to have drinks first, let's meet for coffee. Like, you just have friends everywhere. So that's what makes a difference, and they're going to, that's going to help you stay.
It's kind of like, what it's like, Karen? It's kind of like, where'd you go to school? Oh, I went to Harvard. Oh, I went to BSchool. Okay, we're connected. It's like connecting with your college friends. Seriously, but in a more intimate way.
Absolutely.
You've already met them
know these people. You do know these people.
Yeah, definitely. I will also just elaborate a little bit on that, because I was talking with Nicole earlier, and I took BSchool and Brendan Bouchard's Experts Academy at the same time. And a lot of people were asking what the difference of those two were. And for me, Brendan's live event was so much more than his online teaching, because of the energy of being in the room. And I think no one compares to how Marie puts together in a very creative, easy to follow, graphically enhanced module learning lessons. That's just so, color coded. Everything is color coded, and just so easy to digest and execute from the way that she directs. Don't you think?
I do, and it's just really easy to find. You own it for life. You get every year. You get when she does BSchool again, you're welcome to do it again. You're welcome to all the content again, and if it's updated, you get access to. So it just never stops. The information that you get from this just never stops. It just continues to. It's just always available to you.
I know. I love that. I love that you have lifetime. Can you just imagine, Karen? She has 6,000 people in her BSchool. It's just every year it's just going to implode to a bigger community. It's just so awesome.
I know, which is why those little smaller groups are really important. I mean, those groups are also by not only geographic, but they're by industry. Just to give another example about those groups, I have a client that I work with that has authors that they represent. And I don't really have a lot of experience with authors and how to market them. I mean, I'm doing a lot of research on that, on how to, what the best ways to market authors are. Well, there's a BSchool group for social media marketing for authors. I'm like, okay, duh, so I joined the group. I've gotten to know these people, and now it's like I instantly have 25 experts that I can run things by. That's specific. That's how many groups there are. There's so many groups. And then if you're just starting your business, let's say you have a Facebook page and there's crickets on the Facebook page because, you have to get the word out there. You pop it on the BSchool page, you'll have 300 likes and, by the next day.
Right. You can
you
actually
have this huge community.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's also documents where everyone puts their Twitter handle, their Pinterest page, their Instagram page, their Facebook page, so that you can easily grow your platform by connecting to other people and sharing the love on theirs. And there's a lot of reciprocity there.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
is great.
Absolutely.
So in the spirit of time, Karen, I think we should honor, the time that people have given us. And again, Karen,
I agree.
I apologize for the Google Hangout echoing. That's never happened to us before. But what I love about Karen is she just stayed calm, stayed cool, and we came up with Plan B because we're entrepreneurs. There's always a solution to a problem, right?
And you know what, Sue? Would either one of us have known any of these solutions if we didn't have BSchool? Right?
No,
this is instant tele. I wouldn't even know instant teleseminar existed if it's just there's just no end. I know I sound like I'm gushing about it, but it's true.
Yeah, I love how quickly you were able to access your account and make it happen, Karen. So that's one of the things I love about Karen. She is a doer.
Okay, so before we let you guys go, though, we have to tell you about our bonus.
Sure.
Sue and I. So first of all, in order to get our bonus, okay, so I'm an affiliate for BSchool. Sue, I've brought Sue along with me. So Sue and I are getting compensated by Marie Forleos' team for anybody that we bring to BSchool. So we're partnering with BSchool to increase their sales. Because we're getting compensated, we have the ability to put together this bonus that we can share with you. I'm going to tell you about the bonus in a minute, but in order to get this bonus, you have to use our link to purchase. Okay, and our link is that we created a bit.ly link, so it's bit.ly/BuyBSchool, BuyBSchool. And we'll blast it out all over the place, but it's really important that you use that link in order to get this bonus, okay, because Marie tracks this by the last link that was clicked before the purchase. So if you saw somebody else's, video or even Marie's video and you were watching that video, if that's the last thing you saw before you purchased, you will not be eligible for this bonus. So to be eligible for the bonus, come to us first, click our link. Any questions about that, reach out to Sue or me, and we'll give you that link right before you're ready to buy to make sure you're on the right link.
Let me just interrupt you real quick, Karen. One of the best ways to get that link from us so you make sure it's the right link is just message us right in Facebook and we'll send it right to you.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And on that page, bschoolsocialmediabonus.com, all the links on that page are our links. You can go to that page in a pinch. So what we're doing is Sue has all of her amazing Instagram courses, and I have my LinkedIn courses. They're online courses. They're self-paced. So you're going to get free access to all of Sue's courses and all of my LinkedIn courses, my LinkedIn Stars program, and that everybody's going to get access to that. And that's we just want you to have where, Sue's passion lies with social media, but Instagram is really where her baby, and LinkedIn is really where I make all my clients start. So free access to all of Sue's courses and all of my LinkedIn courses, my LinkedIn Stars program, and that everybody's going to get access to that. And that's we just want you to have all of that because that's really where, Sue's passion lies with social media, but Instagram is really where her baby, and LinkedIn is really where I make all my clients start. So for us, those are two really important platforms. So we want you to have as much information as you can on that. Then we're putting together a 2-session social media intensive where we're going to go deep into social media, and we've got it kind of outlined, but we're going to really see how many people there are before we decide on the format and everything else. But we're going to really dig into your social media. We're going to talk about what works for us, what works for our clients. You're going to get the best of what Sue and I each have in our social media programs with our clients. Sue, do you have anything else you want to say about that?
No, I can't wait to the live event. I
know. Well, that's the last thing, right?
So like Karen said, I'm really excited to be able to give our courses that we've created online and have worked so hard to create, because those are the courses that were born out of BSchool, at least for me, right? And I'm pretty sure yours was as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Karen and Karen and I wanted to join forces and do something just simply amazing. So I'll let you announce the last one.
Well, the last bonus that we're going to give is we're going to do a live all-day VIP mastermind day, like retreat mastermind day, just for you guys, just for people that have signed up for BSchool with our BSchool bonus link. And I've got a million ideas. Sue's got a million ideas. Sue, you don't even know this, but I actually have had people maybe even offer to join us. So we have amazing things we can do for you guys at this live event. So we're putting that together. Again, that's going to exactly the details are going to depend on how many people not only are signed up with our bonus, but how many people can actually come to Boston. We're going to do it in the Boston area. So we totally want you to be there. We totally hope that you all can be there. We'll get you all the details on all of that shortly. But all of that, by the way, is going to be after BSchool ends, because we really want you to spend the next 8 weeks going through BSchool. We don't really want to complicate things for you. So we want you to go through BSchool. When BSchool's over, a couple weeks after BSchool's over, we're going to, we'll do the social media bonus, right, the online social media course. And then a couple weeks after that, we'll do the live event. And all of the details will be provided to you on both of those things as you go. But the live event, Sue, you're going to have me and you're going to have Sue, and we're going to be standing there. We're going to have our laptops and everything else we need. We're going to make sure that your crap gets done. And we're going to give you, one-on-one personal time to get your social media stuff working for you and making you money and bringing you those clients. You don't have to be knocking on their doors. They're going to start to come to you. We're going to teach you how to do that, to attract clients to you rather than you going out and having to sell all the time.
Yeah, I like to call that, we're going to connect your social media buttons. That's what we're going to do.
Cool. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So, and Karen, to your point, I also had people ask if they can contribute to our live event. So those will be special added bonuses later.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure out what we're doing and how we're doing it. But, and again, these are B-schoolers. I've never met any of these people in person, In fact, that mastermind that I talked about that I'm a part of, that is such a huge part of my life, I've only met one of the people in that live.
Wow.
Everybody else I've never met in person.
That's
and they are literally some of the best friends I have. So it's just, it's just crazy.
Awesome.
And again, the offers just come when you start doing things. They're like, let me chat, let me help.
Definitely. I agree. Everyone wants
to help. All right, so we've taken up a lot of your time. Is there anything else you want to share?
No, I just want to let everyone know that's on the call, if they have a certain question that didn't get answered or they're just on the fence and it's a big investment, like Karen said. I do think that you can do it in 2 payments. At least I remember doing that. Karen, do you?
Yes, you can do it. I think it's actually more than 2 payments. I think it's 3 payments.
Okay. So it might be 3 payments. And I want to just make myself available. I'm here for you. You can message me on Facebook, and if you feel like you need a private conversation, I know I've talked to at least 5 people today, and I was really just I'm here to help you make sure that you're making the right decision for yourself and for your family and for your business. And I'm just really excited. I'm hoping that you guys will join our community that Karen and I are putting together, which is going to be just awesome.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing you in BSchool. Nicole just posted that she's signed up, so we're excited about that, Nicole. Thanks for joining us, and we're excited to dig into your business with our social media bonuses. So that's all exciting.
Yeah. All right. So again, we're going to sign off, but we are here for you if you need us. Thanks again for your time.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for all your patience tonight.